If you're the kind of person who finds it hard to make decisions, well, there's a good chance you fall into the category of being, shall we say, indecisive. And if you're not sure whether or not you're being indecisive, then sorry, there's a good chance you are. Like most things, indecision, it's a habit you fall into consciously or unconsciously. So start by stopping passing the buck. It's easy to let other people make decisions for you, whether it's simple things like what to eat for dinner, what to watch, that kind of thing. Sometimes it's because you're being polite. Other times it's because you can't decide what to suggest, and that's your indecision kicking in, you know that. And before you know it, a lot of time has passed, but absolutely nothing's happened. You're still dithering and saying, should we go there or there or there or there? And if the decision is major, it's okay to take your time about it. But don't use that as an excuse to procrastinate and never make a decision, because that's the problem. One option with decisions, or the lack of them, is to set yourself a deadline, make a decision, any decision, by a certain time. Because it's often worse to make no decision at all than it is to do something. So take ownership of the thing that needs a decision. And that helps anyway, because a lot of the time other people are sort of secretly hoping that it's not going to be them, that they won't be the one that has to put their head above the parapet. And that's one of the reasons people are indecisive. They don't want to take ownership of a problem. Either because it's a thorny problem, in which case, yeah, you could be right. It could be a good reason for letting someone else take charge. Or on a just because basis when there's no real reason to not take charge. Maybe it's because you've watched too many TV shows like The Apprentice, where the team leader often gets the blame, even if it isn't entirely their fault. But what you need to remember with those is that although they're billed as being reality TV, and they're kind of pitched that way, they're actually heavily edited, otherwise you couldn't fit two teams working for 2, 3, 4 days into one show that lasts an hour, including the adverts. So there's a large amount of bias in the final show. The editors have a lot of say in it. And that's by no means the same as what happens in real life. You don't get edited. We don't have our lives as edited highlights, we live them. Another thing a lot of people do is just overthink things. Whether it's all the extras you could put on your sandwich at lunch, you've seen them dither in the queue, or something bigger. And if that's you, stop. Then stop yourself in the tracks and just make a decision, for goodness sake. Most of the decisions we make are relatively inconsequential, no matter how big they may seem at the time. And almost all of them can be changed at a later stage if needed. It's, I don't know, a bit like you can change a car journey at almost any point on the road, or even do a U-turn as long as they're not prohibited, obviously. Same applies with the decisions you've been putting off for longer than you'd care to admit. You can change them after the event, almost always. And one of the best decisions you can make is to stop being so indecisive. Now! Start on the path by clicking the link below this video, downloading the MP3 and playing the track to yourself. And yeah, okay, I could be biased, but I think it'd be the best decision you've made in a very long time. So go on.